Good morning. Time to make the tea. Wait, what? Tea? Yes, time to make the tea this morning. I have to have a colonoscopy done. It's that time again. And I don't like black coffee. So this morning I'm having tea. So it's going to be 84 degrees. It's sunny. And then the weather's going to take a turn. By Friday or Saturday, I forget which day, it's supposed to be in the 50s and go down into the 40s at night. So I'm going to have to bring in my lemon tree, at least for that period of time. I don't know if it'll warm up again, but our first frost date is October 15th, so it could happen. So lots of things will be going on. I can't do too much in the garden yet because of this leg issue I have going on, but I'll do the best I can. What I've been doing is working for a few minutes, like 15-20 minutes, then I go put my leg up, then I go do something else. So it's tedious, but it's what has to be done. So today I'm just putting some sweetener because I can only have clear liquids. And then later on we do the Gatorade. Oh, fun. Actually, that's the worst part of it. It's not even the colonoscopy, because you're knocked out during that, so you don't even know what's going on. So, and I've had several of these done already, and it's no big deal, but I do not like that Gatorade business where you have to drink so much. Ugh. But anyway, got to put on my big girl panties and just do what I got to do. So I'm not going to have a sip of this because it's very hot. Usually the cream in the coffee cools it down a bit. So the roofers are already here this morning. They're still working on my neighbor's house, so we won't have any big noise going on here for a couple days yet. And then, of course, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I think we have rain in the forecast. So, well, that just figures. I don't know if I can put honey in the tea. I mean, honey is kind of clear, but I'm not going to chance it. I'll just put the sweetener in. So anyway, not much to chat about this morning. So I'm going to let this cool off a little bit. Oh, it's oolong tea this morning. So, and usually in the afternoon I have tea. I have 1 cup of coffee in the morning, and then I have a couple of cups of tea during the day, and then usually I have my iced tea that I have throughout the day. So that's usually what I drink. I'm not a big fan of water. I don't know. I know what's up with that. I just don't like the taste of it, and it doesn't seem to quench my thirst for some reason. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of weird when it comes to water. So anyway, I'm going to let this cool off a little bit and steep, and then I will meet you at the budget book. All right, here we are back at the budget book. So yesterday I didn't spend any money. We're off to a good start in October. Now today I do have to go out and get my prep stuff for my procedure, but I don't include medication in this challenge, so I just want to put that out there. You know, anything like medication and stuff like that is a necessity, so I don't consider that part of the no spend. So I know some people said that I shouldn't include food in it either, but food is flexible. You know, you can spend more or less on food, and if you have a food stash, you can go a week or so without buying food. But with medication and those things, you do need to have those, and you need to pay the price that they are. Now, I do shop around if I do need any medication, there's an online pharmacy called Blink, B-L-I-N-K, and they have good prices. Costco usually does. I found that Walmart is usually the cheapest. So if I need something right away and I don't want it mailed, then I'll have them send their prescription to Walmart. So, and then I use my GoodRx card for most of the things because I do have Medicare coverage for any medications that I need. Thank God I'm not on a lot of, life-saving medications, but Medicare Part D is just really bad. But the thing is, if you don't get on it right away when you get on Medicare, then it costs you more per month to get on it later, which is kind of a ripoff in my opinion. But they didn't ask me, so I guess I have to pay the premium. It's not a horrendous amount for Part D, but in this day and age, any dollar, pennies, anything counts. So tomorrow, we'll see how it goes. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a video tomorrow. I'll do my best. Thank goodness it's early in the morning, so I don't have to deal with all that all day long. So, and usually, if they knock you out, at least I find this to be true for me, I just want to sleep for a day or so. So I may not be able to do a video tomorrow, but I'm sure you'll understand. I'll be right back after that. So anyway, that is my October so far, and my objective in October is not to have any food spending days. Now, I've mentioned this before, but I've got a lot of new people that joined our community, so welcome to everybody that's new here. I make a video every day, so if you have some questions, you can either ask them in the comments or check back with one of my other videos. I have over 1,000 videos on this channel now, and I checked back, and I think I started this channel 5 years ago. So I'm glad it's growing and expanding, and most of the people on this community are really, really, really nice people, and I appreciate all of you so much for joining us. In the past, there's been one or two, at the most 3 people that have been a little a little negative, that just aren't even on the same page as I'm on. I don't even know why they watch. So those people I just kind of weed out, because we don't need all that negativity, right? Things in the world are going on that are negative enough. So, but for the most part, everybody on here that visits the channel are super nice people, and I appreciate you very much. So, having said that, I'm going to drink my tea now and put my little heating pad on my leg and carry on. All right, I'll be back. Well, here is my neighbor's house and what the roofers are doing, and that is their little dumpster thing. They just have that attached to a van. So they're up there. Our houses are fairly tall. So I guess once they're done with her house, they'll start on mine. So lots of activities going on. So it's just 2 older guys doing the roof. Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't be going up there, but I'm afraid of heights. So there they are. There goes the roof. Yikes. The guy in the red is walking on that scaffolding, and oh, it just makes you want to run up and go, oh, don't fall, don't fall. Okay, well, I guess it goes pretty quick, them taking the roof off. I apologize for the screen in the way, but I'm trying to be stealth with this recording. And since you can't see their faces, it'll be okay. Yikes. These houses have a pretty steep roof. Oh. Okay, well, there it is. And there it goes. All right. Well, good morning. Cheers. Having my tea with you. Well, this morning, I just wanted to go over a few of the things that I need repaired in my house. Now, I know I'm not the Lone Ranger with this. If you own a house, you're going to have to do repairs, or your house will get dilapidated and lose value, and then the flippers will be bothering you to come in and make lots of money off of your house. So I hope you're not in that position. But anyway, here's my nice long honey-do list for the handyman that, fingers crossed, shows up in a couple weeks. So I'm just going to briefly go over what needs to be done. And this is why I need to really tighten the belt and get some cash together. He does take credit cards, but I do not want to put any money on the credit cards if I don't have to. So I need my shutters painted because one blew off, and I already got a nasty gram from the HOA about that. So I figured the one is already off, it needs to be hung up, so I already bought the paint, and he's going to just paint the shutters. Now this guy works by the hour. He charges, I think, either $35 or $36 an hour, and he works in 4-hour increments, so that's like $300+ for as much as he can get done, which I don't think is a bad deal. I mean, it is what it is. So I have to have that done, and I have to have the back of my house power washed. It's really bad back there. Now, I've had it power washed within the last 3 years, I would say, but I've never seen it this bad. So, and I can't do it anymore. And I have a very little power washer, and it's very temperamental. It'll work, and then it cuts out, and then it works. It's kind of useless. So I just want the back power wash. Now, the rest of the house probably could use a bath too, but I'm more concerned about the bath. So that needs to be done. My deck door, I can hardly get it open anymore because it needs to be taken off the track. There's debris in there, so that has to be done because in the winter I'm not going to be able to get it open at all if I don't do that. And that's how I let my dogs in and out into their fenced area. Now back there I did a DIY temporary fencing situation. I took tall dog pens and just laid them out one after the other and got posts and banged those in. So we can't have a permanent fence here. So that's what I put back there. The microwave that my son gave me, it's a used one. I'm going to replace my one that hasn't been working for months. Now, I did buy one cheap on Amazon. It was an open box item, really good deal. I don't like it on the counter, but, you know, I did use the microwave above the stove all the time. And the fan doesn't work, the light doesn't work, so I'm going to have the older microwave put in, but I have to have it installed. So that needs to be done. Then I have a front outlet that I did replace within a year, and we had a storm and the power went out, and it must have blown the whole thing because that doesn't work. So, and I do put a few Christmas lights out there on my little, I have some little, not trees, shrubs in a big pot out there. And just for a little bit of, ambiance, I do put that. So I have to have that done. There's 2 places in my house where the trim boards have deteriorated, and one has a big hole in it from the birds, and the other one is just crumbling apart. So those 2 things need to be replaced because otherwise it's going to damage the wood behind it, and then I'm really going to have a mess. So that needs to be done. And there's 2 of those. So I think the bedroom one I'm going to have done after I get the front window paid for. I'll save up for that one because that window is all, the seals are all broken and you can hardly see out of it too. But since it's the bedroom, it's like, well, I let it go a little bit. So probably I'll wait until spring to have that done. And then I need 2 or 3 deck boards replaced because the wood is all rotted and it's big chunks of wood are out of it. So, that could become a hazard. If the wood rots enough, you can fall through that. So those are the things that I have to have done to the house. It's not a luxury thing, it's not a cosmetic thing. They're things that have to be done. Then also, the same handyman guy, he does landscaping, and especially this year, we had just enough rain that the temperature was perfect, and all my trees and shrubs just went crazy. I mean, they are so overgrown now. It's almost like you could watch them grow. That's how big and bushy and everything got. So I'm going to try and hire him to, after I get all the home repairs done, to help out with that. The wisteria, usually I've done that in the past, but I'm getting a little nervous about climbing up on a tall ladder. So I do not want to break anything again because, when you get older and you break something, that could be curtains. It really could. So, and especially since I have the osteoporosis, so, I just don't want to chance it. So if it costs me $300 or $400 for him to come in and trim up everything, then I feel that's worth it. So between those 2 things, I'm hoping that it won't be more than $1,000, fingers crossed, give or take. So those are all the things I have to have done to my house. And I know those of you that live in an apartment, you have to wait to have everything done. And sometimes it's wait and wait and wait, whatever your problem is in your apartment. Not all landlords are like right on top of things. And a lot of times if they do fix something, they do the cheapest of the cheap. So anyway, I hope I don't come across as whining. I'm not. I'm just trying to share information because I know we all have repairs and things that need to be done. But for me, the only place that I can pull the money, I need heat, I need electric, I need all those things out. I don't need my TV subscriptions. I know I don't need those, but I stay home most of the time. I would say 80 to 90% of the time I'm at home. So, and I do enjoy watching like series on TV. Right now I'm watching Goliath. Boy, that's a weird one. It's with Billy Bob Thornton. he was actually, I think he was married to Angelina Jolie. And I thought, what did she see in him? She had Brad Pitt at one point. But the more I watch the show, the more I like him. He has kind of a laid back personality, at least in the show. So, but it's a really weird show. He's a lawyer, and at one point he was like the best, and then something happened where he got somebody off that was actually guilty. I think he was a killer of some sort, and he ended up murdering a family. So now he's a drunk because he just couldn't deal with it anymore. But he does handle cases, so. But each season there's a different case that he handles, but they do overlap a bit, but there's some really weird stuff in there. So I've been watching that, and before that I watched Justified with, what's his name? Timothy, something. Oliphant, Timothy Oliphant. And that was a good series too. And he just came out with a new series, again, Justified, but it's a newer version of it. So I enjoy watching some of those things. And I do have a Prime membership that I've had for years and years. That's gone up like crazy. I think it's $150 a year now. But there's a lot of perks that I do get from Prime. One of them is if you use their card, then you get perks for money off. So I really don't want to give that up. And I can find that in the budget to pay for that once a year. So anyway, it's not easy when you're on a fixed income. If you had the foresight and you had a really, really good job, I know people that worked in the auto industry that are doing very well, as far as their pension goes, and I don't know if they get Social Security or not. I know the railroad workers and the teachers have their own thing that they paid into, but and with Social Security you have that like trickle down thing where you only get a very tiny part of Social Security. Now my first ex-husband was a police officer, so he paid into a different fund, so he gets his pension from that, and I think he gets a little tiny Social Security thing. Now, and I think, now don't quote me on this, but I think if you're the spouse of a police officer or somebody in that field, and even if you're divorced, at least it used to be, even if you're divorced, I think you can choose whatever is higher, his Social Security or yours. But don't quote me on that. Do some research if you're in that boat. So anyway, my ex-husband's Social Security was very, very tiny. And when we divorced, I gave up his pension. I would have been entitled to part of it, but we came up with a deal where he signed the house over to me and I gave up the rights to his pension. So that worked out fine for us. We are still very good friends. We celebrate the holidays together. He and his, I call her my wife-in-law. She's a good friend too, so I'm happy about that. So anyway, I'm trying to get through the videos without my little dog barking her head off because there's lots of activity going on, but she's actually been pretty good. She's not barking like all day long. She barks when she hears noises. Her hearing is like really super. It's her superpower, and then her barking is her other superpower. So, but she's a sweet dog. I love her dearly, and she loves to cuddle. All three of my dogs are just cuddle bugs. They love to cuddle. They love attention. Chloe is your typical pit bull. She gets the smile on her face, and you guys see Bandit the most because he's the one that's always with me, no matter where I go. He follows me into the bathroom. He lays under my feet when I do videos. So that's why you see Bandit the most. But anyway, I love my dogs, and they're an expense that even if I had to give up food to feed them, then that's what I would do. So, okay, I'm not doing any cooking today because I can't eat anything. Just lots of liquids. I can drink tea with honey. I spoke to the nurse this morning. She called to confirm my appointment for tomorrow. So she said to drink lots. Tea with honey is fine. You can't have anything red, which makes sense because, you know, blood is red and they don't want any confusion. So anyway, we'll see. Hopefully I'll be feeling better with my gut and my leg before too long, but I'm okay. You know, I'm doing okay. So, all right, my friends, I'm going to make this a wrap for today. And then just go do my drinking. Oh, I don't think alcohol counts as a clear liquid. I don't drink much anyway, just socially every once in a while. Or I'll have a glass of wine every now and then with dinner. If I'm feeling really frisky, it's like, okay, woohoo, we're having wine. My daughter and I, we like to share a bottle of wine every now and then, but she is so busy with her kids and her job, and all three of her kids. I mean, my grandson that lives here, he's also her son, but that's another story why he lives here. Well, I'll just briefly tell you. He lives here because at one point they bought a new house, and they gutted the whole thing. So they lived with my son-in-law's mom for 2 years, and my grandson didn't want to live there. He wanted to live with me. And since I have a whole basement that's, you know, it's got a little kitchen down there, and when I had this house built, I thought, well, if I ever need extra cash, I potentially could rent that out, but it doesn't have a separate entrance or anything like that, so family staying there is perfect. But I'm not so sure about strangers, and there's so many weirdos, so many weirdos nowadays. I don't know if I want to let them into my house. And then you can't get rid of them if it turns out to not be a good fit because of eviction laws in some states. I don't know what they are here in Ohio. I never checked into it. But anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, well. And, you know, my grandson, he's a great guy. He's going to be 21 this month, which, you know, that's exciting for me. But, you know, he's trying to save money. He bought a new car because he needed it, because he works like an hour away, so he commutes every day. So I felt it was important for him to get a new car. And he's very responsible, but I don't charge him rent. You know, he helps like pay the internet bill, which is he uses a lot because he loves to game. But anyway, I don't charge him rent, and he buys his own food, so that's the way I want it. So anyway, my daughter is very busy, so she doesn't have the opportunity to come over very often. So, and she and her husband both work from home. So anyway, that's what's going on. So anyway, that's all I have for you today, my friends. So I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you. And I'll see you next time.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Thanks for watching.